Hi, I'm Steve, Professor Harrow or Dr. Harrow, and I'm your professor this term. And I wanted to really briefly introduce myself, and then I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see the desktop. There are a couple of things that if you do them right away, or you know to do them, I guess, you should be more successful in the class. So I got my PhD in communication from Georgia State University in Atlanta, and I'm a tenured professor at the College of Southern Nevada in Las Vegas. A couple of years ago, we moved back to Atlanta, so I teach online and I travel to Las Vegas for meetings. Um, and I've been teaching classes like this since 1990, so almost 30 years. And I think this is my fourth year with UMUC, and I've been really enjoying it and really involved in uh, the communication studies department. So I love the diversity of students and diversity of thought and all the different kinds of work situations y'all are in. So I find these classes are really fun just for that reason, if no other. Make sure you watch the rest of this because I think the only reason people have trouble is that they don't follow the path that I'm setting up for them to go through the class. So watch this when I flip the video, and hopefully you'll see what I mean. Okay, so we're back and we're looking at my main page. It may look a little different than yours. I'm not sure. I've never been a student at UMUC and I've never seen the student side, but I'm assuming you all have your list of courses here that you're taking, and you should see this one in your list. That's how you got to this video. And so I'll click that. Okay, so, oh wow, you guys are really already started working on this. Okay, that's good. So first of all, the announcements, which is most of the right hand, maybe 2/3 of the screen, are meant to give you information that'll help you succeed for the work in that week. This first announcement, if you're unfamiliar with working in Leo, it's going to show you a step-by-step way to get through to find things. And I may click through a couple of those just to repeat that. And then every week, I'll give you an announcement that, let's say, for example, you've got a speech assignment. I'll put an announcement up that gives you more detailed instructions than the assignment itself has. So this is a class that is created by the department, by somebody who is a full-time professor there, and then the rest of the professors teach using that model. For me, it needs some more explanation. So one thing that happens, well, two things that happen. One is that people don't read the announcements and they don't do things that I'm asking you to do. And worse, two, they turn in assignments based on the old class, which we haven't taught since the spring. So don't go to Course Hero and get all the assignments and think you're turning in the correct stuff. Course Hero, my experience is that the people who put stuff up on Course Hero, the work is mediocre at best, but the class is completely different. So if that's your strategy, I would strongly suggest not doing that. Okay, so the announcements. Every time before you start a week's work, you should see the announcement for that week, read it carefully, and remember the things that are mentioned there. Sometimes there will be a lot of information, other times not as much, but the main purpose for the announcements is to give you helpful information that that will help you. Yeah, to give you helpful information. All right, so let me show you a couple of things. First of all, and I'm no expert. I've never been a student, like I said, so I don't know if there's a better way to do this. If you have a better way to do it, shoot me an email or an Ask the Professor comment. But you can see content, discussions, assignments. You'll see your grades under the My Tools section there. And I think a lot of people just click to the discussions, click to the assignments, or maybe they use the calendar to click to assignments. But the way the class is designed is that you click course content. Okay, so once you've clicked the content button, you might not see everything on the left. Obviously, there's faculty only information. But here's the syllabus that explains the course, the assignments, and the grading. This is where you should come. Ask the professor if you have questions about the class that are not private. So if you want to say something like, hey, Professor Harrow, the readings for this week, the link is dead. That'd be a good thing to do and ask the professor. If you're not sure, maybe there's a spot where it says a speech is 5 to 6 minutes, another spot where it says 4 to 5. Ask the professor would be where you ask that question. So don't email me stuff like that. I would rather answer it once and then refer people to the discussion than answer the same question a couple of times. And what's nice about asking questions in the public Ask the Professor discussion is even if you don't think you have a question, go look around once or twice a week to just make sure somebody hasn't found something or noticed something you didn't. And so it's a good way to find out if there's a problem with something and you don't even know it. Okay, so you can click on the course introduction. It's like a one-page explanation of the purpose of the course, but let's get right to week one. And so you can see here there are a couple of categories. The first one is the learning resources. And what's a little bit strange, I don't know what yours looks like. Mine is set up so that I can actually add stuff to these modules. And again, like I said, this navigation might not be the best way to do it. If it's not, let me know. I know some of you are pros at this and have all your techniques. But this is the logic behind how the course is set up, and if you follow this in whatever your page looks like, that would be great. Okay, so click week one learning resources, and now you've got all of the stuff that we would like you to read for this week. Most of these are fairly short entries, but it's just giving you a background in communication, the process and principles. This is basically like first chapter intro to communication stuff. So the purpose of this is that you'll read and study these. Once you're done with that, then you can go ahead and work on the discussions, the quizzes, or the assignments. So if you want to see what the discussions are, click discussions. And you can see there's one that asks you to introduce yourself. There's one for you to give your goals. There's one about nonverbal comm, and then there's one just asking you to practice uploading a video because that's the way we have you turn in your speech assignments. So you'll do each of those, and you'll notice most of these ask you to respond to 3 classmates. So your discussion post is due Wednesday night at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, and then your responses to at least 3 classmates are due that Sunday. So that'll say the due date is Wednesday at 11:59, but it'll be open until Sunday, and that's how the discussions work. There's a quiz, I think pretty much every week you can click the quiz and take it. I don't know why it does that. But you have tons of time to do a 15-question quiz, and it's all coming directly from the reading, and it is not cheating to use your notes, the chapters, whatever you need to take this. But one thing to keep in mind, Googling is not always the best way to find the answer because sometimes what's included in the learning resources disagrees with what other sources you'll find when you Google. So I would stick to using the ebook and the other information that is in the learning resources. So we have a week 1 assignment. Actually, there's 2. You either have to take this academic integrity tutorial, or I guess if you've already taken it, you can upload it to the assignment and we'll count it as good. And then they want you to take this self-assessment. And the purpose for this was for you to do this before the semester started and at the end to see if the class helped you with your communication apprehension. But I don't think they set it up that way. So if you want to come back to this link and take it again, that might be kind of cool to see, have your results changed. Ideally, we would think you would have lower apprehension at the end of the class than you had at the start of the class. So each week, if you click the week, you'll see that there are learning resources for you to read. There are discussions for you to discuss. There's a quiz, and there's an assignment. So for example, elevator pitch, the announcement for week 2 will have a lot of information to help you do this and make it, something worthwhile and educational. Let's see, what else? I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, the 2 main things are, I guess, 1, make sure you do the reading. I can always tell when somebody just clicks an assignment and starts typing because it has no relation to what you were supposed to have learned that week. That's not really helpful or productive. And then 2, and actually, as soon as I get done filming this, I'll post the announcement for week 1. It's set to come up tonight, but I'll put it up now so you can sort of see the format. If you have any questions, ask in the Ask the Professor discussion, and I look forward to working with you all this semester.